all you out there in YouTube land, this is Translator10 and I am back with another action figure review. Now this one is pretty special to me. This goes all the way back to my childhood, but then again, what review of mine really doesn't? Except for maybe a couple examples that I wanted from my childhood and I never got, so I then picked up in my adulthood. Well, anyway. Excuse me. Well, anyway, what we have here is packaged in a simple little white mailer box. Those of you probably already know what I'm getting at right now. Yes, I'm going with those wonderful mailaways of the mid-1990s. Well, going back as far as, well, I guess you could say the 1950s. I don't really know when the first mail-away started. But going back as far as, you know, the 1980s, that's the one that I know of. You know, cereal companies would team up with local, well, not local, but with, you know, corporations and establish brands and do a little something special to try to increase both businesses. And what they would come up with is the mail-away, where you would clip out, you know, the UPCs of, or, you know, proof of purchases from cereal boxes, and along with either some cash or maybe some proof of purchases from some toy products, you can redeem them in for some really cool stuff. Like in 1985, Cookie Crisp cereal did a promotion with Hasbro's Transformers to give fans that missed out on the opportunity to buy them in stores, or if he just was really hard to locate. Well, anyway, it gives those kids a chance to get a Jazz action figure in the mail. So, and he came in like a little white mailer box like so. Well, going back to jumping ahead about 10 years, in 1995, when Kenner Hasbro at this point, was building anticipation for its Star Wars revival, because after all, it's been 10 years since Star Wars was in, you know, on toy shelves. They teamed up with Kellogg's, Fruit Loops in particular, to send out via special mail order a very special action figure to help promote this brand new line. And inside, you got Han Solo in Stormtrooper disguise. You came in a little bag, you opened up the bag, and you took the figure out. Now, immediately, adult collectors would probably be a little frustrated because he doesn't come with a blaster rifle. But he does come with a helmet, so the disguise is complete. Now, I wanted this figure so much. I mean, I remember the commercial. It was after Toucan Sam had some little follow your nose adventure. All of a sudden, it would cut away, and you'd see a space battle, or at least some similar facsimile thereof. Usually there was explosions, and they had like this little cardboard backdrop with this figure holding on to his helmet. Still don't know how they were able to do it, because every time I try to do it, it just falls. They probably glued it on. That's the best as I've been able to do it. So he's holding on to his helmet, and they tell you that you can get this figure free when you buy specially marked boxes of Fruit Loops cereal with the order form printed out on the back of the box and 2 proofs of purchase, mail it in, and in 4 to 6 weeks, you would get your Han Solo. This promotion ran from, looking online, about the summer of 1995 up until December of 1996. So, of course, once again, anyone who's familiar with mail-aways, you made it a morning ritual, an afternoon ritual, that every time you left the bus in the morning to go to school, you checked your mailbox. Every time you came home from school, the first thing you did, you didn't rush home, directly into the house and play your video games or do your homework or watch your mid-afternoon programming. You looked in the mailbox for this white mailer. And man, when the day finally arrived, it was special. It was like as if you were holding the Holy Grail. If someone had given you $1 billion, that's how special this was. As you can see, the figure itself has standard articulation. He can sit. His legs don't go all the way back just because of the armor here. Keeps it from going all the way back, but then why would you want Han Solo to do splits? He's a little, I'd say probably a little over muscular, but Kenner felt that it was best to do muscular figures. Boy, were they wrong. Got a lot of backlash. But the main selling point of this figure, why I still recommend it today, is the face sculpt. Except for maybe the eyes. The eyes are a little disturbing, especially on my camera. That does look like Han Solo. Give it the cheeks maybe a little filled out a little bit. His chin isn't as strong. But that is Han Solo. That's a really good likeness of Harrison Ford. Very, very, very nice. They pop up from eBay every once in a while. I would suggest if you could find one at a lower price, I wouldn't pay anything above like $14. That's just crazy. But I would suggest if you're a real good Power of the Force 2 fanatic, if you grew up with the Power of the Force 2, you missed out on this figure, really wanted it, I'd suggest go for it. It's very, very nice. And of course he comes with a helmet. He comes with a helmet. I'm pretty sure you got maybe some extra blaster rifles around. You could probably put a blaster rifle in his hand. Just to complete. What was also great about these figures was, if your parents weren't big into troop building, and troop building mean buying the same figure over and over and over again, so you had a little small army, you could pretend you had a small army, because when you had your regular Han Solo out to play, you could actually put your Stormtrooper disguise helmet on the Han Solo figure, and it became just a regular old Stormtrooper. Heck, it's playtime. It's your imagination, your toys, your rules. This could have been just a regular old Stormtrooper. So, let's say you only had 2 Stormtroopers, but you wanted 4. Get out your Luke and Stormtrooper disguise. And now you had 4. Like, I only had 2 Stormtroopers. I had one on a red card and one on a green card with a little freeze frame. And then I had these 2 guys. I had 4 Stormtroopers. It was awesome. Put him back into Babu. So, that's pretty much what I have to say about Han Solo. As you can tell, this is too nice to be my original. Nah, my original one was probably lost or stolen or, confiscated, because since these guys were so freaking small, yeah, it was kind of shocker at first. He was actually my first Star Wars action figure. Well, not really my first, but he was the first one that I purchased but I wouldn't receive them until after I had a good supply of Star Wars action figures. But anywho, you know, since these guys were so small, I mean, and you could pretty much put them in your pocket. You could take these guys wherever you went. You could do that with most action figures, but try putting a Power Rangers Megazord in your pocket. Yeah, that's not really going to do well. So, this was really, really cool to have. I mean, it introduced a lot of kids to a brand new size of action figures. Well, a new generation of kids to a brand new size of action figures. And pretty much cemented the 3 3/4 inch action figure as the standard. I mean, look at these shelves today. Even Power Rangers are 3 3/4 inch. Batman figures are 3 3/4 inch. Transformers, you know, some of those are 3 3/4 inch. Of course, their transformations are very, very simple and very, very G1-esque, but they're 3 3/4 inch, if not maybe smaller. But before I really get off topic here, I just want to tell you how I love this action figure, and it made me want to buy it twice, or should I say, 3 times. Well, actually, it was kind of like a double lot. I guess one of them was the stock, and one of them was the rock for this guy. So, that's it for this edition of my action figure reviews. Look for more Power of the Force 2 to come into stores. Oh my god. Look for more Power of the Force 2 to pop in my reviews. I'm sorry. And I will see you all on the flip side.